Hey guys, so just real quick, I want to tell you I'm going to put the armor models at the end of this video. So you can check those out if you want and see why the T26E4 does so good against the BZ. Anyway, enjoy this video. Welcome to Go Around Gaming. Today I'm going to show you a little gameplay in the T26E4, one of my favorite medium tanks. I know there's a lot of haters out there, but I really enjoy this tank, and I finally one-marked it today. I'm not sure how many battles I have in it. I don't think it's a ton yet, but this wasn't too bad of a game. But the armor on this thing is amazing. And it's all due to the spaced armor. Seems like I've been getting this map a lot. What about you guys? I get this map constantly. I really could do with a change of scenery. Anyway, I think I'm running turbo on this thing. Vents and a rammer, if I remember right. But the turbo was a game changer for this tank, to me anyway. It was just too slow with too low of an alpha damage gun. But now, with the turbo, it doesn't feel so bad. And, you know, it's a fairly accurate tank. It actually reminds me of the T832 that recently came out, as far as accuracy goes. But if you get up against someone that doesn't really know weak spots very well, this tank is amazing. If you get up against someone that's knows what they're doing, then forget about it. So as you can see, we're pretty much alone over here now. Me and that VZ44. And we got, what, 4 or 5 enemy tanks here. And there's some in the back. This tank, you can play a little more aggressive. And it's a really beginner-friendly tank. It really is. It's spaced armor, I think. It used to be this way, where World of Tanks had spaced armor. It wasn't as susceptible to HE. I don't know if it's still that way. At least that's the way it was on console. But if it is, then that's definitely a plus against things like the Caliban and the BZ-176. I think the Caliban, I think they run heat or high explosive. Sorry, I meant high explosive. Let's see if I can tell. Doesn't say. Well, if the Caliban pins me, I'll check it out. But it is a good tank. Okay, so the BZ is running the HE, of course. Which makes sense, because he only did partial damage. So we're kind of just holding them back, and I'm really surprised. I don't know why they didn't push. I'm glad they didn't. It might be because the Caliban and the 176 have long reloads. I think the Caliban's a 2-shot, right? I think it's a pretty quick successive 2-shot and then a long reload. Because I've been burnt before thinking, oh, the inner clip reload must be, you know, longer than it is. And yeah, it didn't work out. I think it's a pretty quick 2-shot. Okay, so he got me in the side there. So the Steyr wanted us to fall back, but I think he just got taken out. The problem with falling back a lot of times is as soon as you turn around or do anything, you're going to get just obliterated. You know, if I were to turn around right now, there would be nothing stopping them. And so you can't fall back at certain times. It's too late. It's too late to fall back, in my opinion. The moment that 176, you know, seen the ass end of your tank, it's over. So right now I see my teammates pushing the other side, and I just want to be up here and be ready. Is it smart? I don't know. But see what I mean about being pretty accurate? This tank really isn't that bad. Wish I had a little more alpha, but can't have everything. I don't know what that was. So far we did 1900 combined damage. This BZ just pushed over, thinking he was gonna be smart, but I'm trying to keep him tracked. Can't do much if he's tracked. Now I'm just aiming for his cupola. It's just simply farming him now. The Caliban looks like a pretty fun tank. I'll have to try it out one of these days. I think it's a 10-footer. Like, you gotta be pretty close to your opponent, but... And that was just a bad shot by me.
Target unlocked.
Another bad shot by me. Imagine that. But I did... You'll notice I got my 1 mark up there. I met my goal, so I was excited. I think this is one of the tanks that I will 2-mark. Just because I think it's within my ability. You know, some of these tanks aren't within my ability yet. So really, this tank is a lot quicker on different ground. Gotta remember, this ground here sucks. I think the terrain resistance is cranked up on this map through this valley here. But now we're starting to be worried because are we going to be the only 2 left again? It's looking that way. It's really looking that way. And I think that BZ is just waiting for us to push up. Someone gives him a little bit of grief later on, but I think he was waiting for us to push up, which is probably pretty smart. For some reason, I was thinking there was something to the right, but obviously there isn't. Frickin' noobs, right?
Enemy armor is damaged.
All right. And that ends the game.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Okay, guys, so here's the results from that battle. Did 3,000 XP out of it. And did 2,500 damage. Which puts us at the top. Made 61,000 credits. It is actually a pretty good credit maker. Especially if you have boosters on. This tank will definitely make you some credits. So I'm going to jump over and show you the armor of this tank just to drive it home and show you why this is such a beginner-friendly tank, in my opinion, okay? So hold on one second. All right, so here's the armor model of the T26E4, and I've got it against the BZ-176 shooting HE, which is what most of them run, you know. But as you can see, the spaced armor here, look at that spaced armor right in here. And up here, obviously, these wings count as spaced armor. Now, if they were to hit here, they're gonna pin you. But most of the time, people are shooting right in here, even down in here. Look, there's no chance. It's a bounce from a BZ. Now he might be able to hit in here, but that's a pretty small. That's a pretty small area. So when you're going to play this tank, the best thing you can do is shield this. And I do that by lifting my gun like that. And sometimes, well, actually, so maybe I shouldn't be doing that. See, I learned something new too. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? That pivot point in that one little area. But I've done this before and had them bounce. So I've noticed most players, what they'll do is they'll shoot for this area here. And that's actually what I do when I'm playing against it. But if you're running the BZ, you know, and you're running HE, even if they're square on with you, this tank is not going to be fun to deal with. Okay. There's very few weak spots in this tank. Obviously the cupola, that's nothing new. But the biggest thing is really this lower plate, because everyone falls for it. Everyone falls for that lower plate, thinking they'll pin it. There's no chance. Now, one thing this tank does not do good is it has really crappy side armor. Do not ever show your side to anything. Just like in my video on that Caliban, that's why he pinned me, because I was sitting kind of like this probably and looking at him. I don't know how to do that on this thing, but my point is he probably shot right in here. I don't know if you can, nope, can't really do it there. Anyway, when you're playing this thing, I really think it's a good tank to go up against the BZ in. If you know what you're doing and you have some support. So this is the BZ-176 versus the T26E4. And as you can see, it easily pins the lower plate, even the upper, if they're sitting, you know, about like this. You get too much angle, and obviously this is going to be ricochet, but really, I usually just shoot for the lower plate or these cupolas, especially up close. But that Super Pershing really doesn't have a problem pinning the BZ with gold rounds. Let's see what the standard does. Yeah. So even standard, you have a really good chance of pinning that lower or the cupolas, which is mainly what I shoot at anyway. Of course, with gold, you're going to have more luck. So I hope this helps you guys. And I'm not sure if I'll put the gameplay at the end of this or before it. But I hope you enjoy your day, and I hope to see you back on another video. Thanks, guys.